Our MC, Bai Yi, is the leader of a proficient awakened team called the Divine Corps. Due to the existence of magic in this world, demons and their caves appeared. In reaction to demons appearing, those with special powers like Bai Yi awakened. His team is the strongest in the organization, and they are on a mission to exterminate the Demon King, Belphegor. Belphegor is a triple S-class demon with 5 elements, making him a tough opponent. Bai Yi and other awakened warriors receive their instructions from the highest authorities, the gods. As they enter the cave, Bai Yi screams at the top of his voice to inform his squad members that the mission has begun. Because of how proficient Bai Yi's team is, this is the 100th high-level demonic cave they will be challenging. Among his team are Ling Yue, Han Xiaoling, and Lucian. Because of how tough the mission is predicted to be, it was designated as an L-class purge operation, which is the highest ranking level. However, the team members are all excited to take on the mission, since they have been promised a vacation once they clear the demon cave and take out the Demon King, Belphegor. In perfect sync, the team unleashes their powers onto the attacking demons to exterminate them. Bai Yi leads the attack as they easily cut through the demons with their swift and precise attacking mode. This is made possible since all members of the Divine Corps, from Bai Yi himself to the last person, are all L-rank warriors. Within a few minutes of precise coordination, the team clears the cave and wipes out the Demon King Belphegor. The team members excitedly talk about how easy it was for them to clear the cave. However, Lucian is skeptical about the whole operation. He feels like it is too easy since the mission was an L-rank mission. Even Bai Yi agrees with what Lucian said. The intel he got was that the Demon King was a special Demon King with 5 elements and a hidden skill. While he is trying to analyze what might be wrong, Ling Yue hugs him from behind, asking him if he is going to treat them to a feast, since they are done with the mission. Tired of having Ling Yue all around him, he pushes her away while telling her and the rest of the team that they are going to have dinner at their usual spot. On the other hand, Han cannot believe that their captain is throwing away a golden chance to have fun with Ling Yue. Just then, they notice that the last member of their team is not with them. He didn't help during the fight, and he is also nowhere to be seen. The team doesn't take this seriously since they have cleared the mission already. Speaking of the devil, he appears behind, but something unexpected follows. He boldly raises his hand and declares the start of the purge operation. Suddenly, Han gets hit in the head with a projectile, instantly killing him. Shock runs through the rest of the team as they see Han hit the ground dead. Half of his head is gone, and his blood spills all over the floor. The team is still in shock when the traitor reveals that he has been assigned the purge mission by God himself. Bai Yi notices that he can't move his body, and the traitor reveals that Bai Yi and the others have been eating breakfasts which were laced with paralytic powder for the past month. The traitor then holds the rest of the team with his divine skill called Forbidden Vines. This restricts their movement, giving the traitor a free rein to explain things to them. The traitor explains that he was assigned the mission to wipe out the team, and to do this, he needed to prepare. While he is arrogantly explaining, Bai Yi and the others are just asking him why he has betrayed them. The traitor replies that it is the gods' decree to wipe out the L-class warriors. The traitor tightens the grip on Bai Yi and the others, forcing them to scream in pain. They slowly lose consciousness as they cough up blood while they keep asking their bad teammate why he betrayed them. Bai Yi reminds the guy that the Divine Corps never crossed any lines that deserve death. Since they have been following all the rules laid down for them, Bai Yi wants to know why they had to die. The traitor arrogantly tells them that the god doesn't need any reason to kill them. The traitor walks close to Bai Yi, and after choking him with his vines, he punctures his chest with his fist. Bai Yi cannot get over the act of betrayal since he already considered the traitor a part of his family. After all, the team has been together for 10 years, and they are practically inseparable. The traitor laughs at Bai Yi for being naive. He tells him that he was never a family to him because, since the first time he joined the Divine Corps, he has been on a mission for the gods. Basically, Bai Yi and his team are just pawns in the hands of the gods. The traitor joined the team to study them, and he played along so well. Bai Yi and the team finally lose whatever life force they have left in them and crash to the ground. The traitor proudly stands above the blood and finishes Bai Yi off with a shot to the head. And on that day, which is May 22nd of the year 2125, Bai Yi and his team of L-class warriors were killed. Their bodies lie across the ground as the traitor walks off in preparation for his vacation. As Bai Yi's consciousness seeps into the abyss, he suddenly hears a voice demanding that they make a deal. Bai Yi is shocked when he sees himself in chains and in an unfamiliar environment. Standing in front of him is a creepy guy in a suit, and he has a dark aura around him. Bai Yi takes a closer look and realizes that the dude standing in front of him is Belphegor, the Demon King. He wonders how the Demon King is alive. Belphegor teases Bai Yi, telling him that a Demon King with high ranks like him would not die that easily. Apparently they are in his soul domain, and the entire kingdom is his life force. Tired of hearing the Demon King chatter, Bai Yi suggests that they get down to business. Since Bai Yi is obviously angry at what happened, the Demon King proposes a deal. Belphegor reveals that his hidden skill is called life regression. He lets Bai Yi know that he can send him to the past, giving him the chance to change the outcome of things. He asks Bai Yi if he is interested, and after a quick reminder of how his team died at the hands of the traitor, Bai Yi doesn't hesitate before agreeing to the Demon King's proposition. He is burning with rage as he swears to kill the traitor and the entire League of Gods, giving him instructions. The Demon King is pleased with Bai Yi's answer, and in addition to helping him, the Demon King grants Bai Yi one more gift, which is Belphegor's heart. Bai Yi then asks the Demon King why he is making a deal with him, but he ignores the question before Bai Yi gets sent off. When our guy opens his eyes, he finds himself in class with his teacher, Huang, yelling at him. Bai Yi has gone back 20 years to the year 2105. This was 20 years ago, when Bai Yi was still in the middle school division of the nation's Awakened Academy. Bai Yi is surprised to see that he truly came back to the past, which is before his awakening. The teacher scolds Bai Yi for sleeping in class, and most importantly, a class that is before his awakening ceremony. To punish him, the teacher orders him to go stand in the back of the classroom. Still in shock about being reborn with Belphegor's ability, he slowly walks to the back of the class. He stares at his classmates, whom he hasn't seen in nearly 20 years. The teacher continues the lesson, explaining to the class that there are 5 elemental powers in their world. The 5 elemental powers are lightning, flower, cloud, nuclear, and stellar. Apparently, one person can only contain one element. The teacher uses herself as an example, telling the students that she possesses the rarest cloud element. She then adds that the elements are divided into categories depending on how they bond with the body. The 3 categories are combat, support, and special. In her explanation, she lets the students know that each team comprises the 5 elements with different roles. The school's guild team is a prime example of that, since it consists of a stellar mage, a cloud warrior, a nuclear bard, and a lightning assassin. The teacher commends the students for being rare among the many and lets them know that the awakening day is the most important day in their lives. Apparently, there are nearly 100 known awakened professions. These professions are ranked from the lowest, which is dust, to celestial, which is the highest. In between dust and celestial are ember and the abyss ranks. To make it interesting, the students have just one chance at an awakening. She lets them know that the status they awaken with is going to determine how their life is going to play out. After class, the students step out to prepare for the awakening. Bai Yi then runs into one of his classmates, whom he usually calls Four Eyes because he wears glasses. Four Eyes is being bullied by an annoying dude, Hong Sheng. Hong is an E-rank stellar assassin, which makes him the hot stuff among his peers. Bai Yi is not surprised to see this because even in his past life, Hong was always bullying people and getting into fights. Before Hong and stress Four Eyes any longer, the teacher appears on the scene. She tells Hong that they are in a school, not a place where he can bully and rob people. Hong arrogantly tries to change the narrative as he tells the teacher that Four Eyes was the one who bumped into him. He claims he is only taking his money as compensation for this. He boldly tells Huang that he would have gotten her fired if not for the fact that she is hot. After he's had enough, he and his goons prepare to leave. He sees Bai Yi in his way, and with no regard for the poor boy, he shoves him out of the way. Bai Yi doesn't do anything rash, but instead takes a look at how the teacher is checking on Four Eyes. Apparently, Huang is a good teacher who cares for her students even though she looks tough on the outside. Bai Yi remembers Huang helping him out in his past life after he awakened. Just then, Huang is informed that it is her class's turn to enter the awakening chamber. Just like a mother, Huang tells her students to stay calm during the awakening to avoid injuries. In this world, there are 2 awakening methods. There is a natural method of awakening method, like the one Hong awakened with, which is why he is a prideful duck. The natural method of awakening usually happens in people with strong physical constitutions and natural talent, and the awakening process automatically activates during extreme emotional moments. The other awakening method is considered the artificial method, where those with the potential enter the awakening chamber. The chamber is the product of several knowledgeable scientists, and inside the chamber, emotions and adrenaline are intensely stimulated. This stimulation then forces the dormant awakening inside the potential candidates to activate. Because of how it happens only once, it is considered the only way for one to turn their life around. Some of Bai Yi's classmates entered the awakening chamber before him and got nice professions. One awakened with the blue tier profession, which is the Ember class. Finally, it reaches Bai Yi's turn, and the teacher tells him to focus while he is in the chamber. Bai Yi acknowledges his teacher's instruction and proceeds into the chamber. In his past life, Bai Yi awakened as an E-rank nuclear warrior. This is under the dust tier class, and it is considered the trashiest profession. His awakening back then led to constant bullying, but it wasn't until he reached S rank that he awakened the rarest type. Upon entering the chamber, Bai Yi is expecting to get a trash profession as usual. However, he is utterly shocked when the system displays an error message. The chamber kicks into activation mode and detects 5 elements instead of the usual one. Bai Yi can feel his insides burning hot as the system displays the infinite awakening message. The system informs Bai Yi that he can choose any class from any of the 5 elemental types as his initial class. Bai Yi further learns that he can upgrade the other class once his initial class has reached the maximum potential. Bai Yi is shocked when he realizes that he has just been granted elemental accumulation. Apparently, he can choose other new classes in the future. He can even obtain the dust rank up to the celestial rank while maintaining their qualities. Bai Yi also has the chance to unlock the hidden rank above the celestial rank. It then dawns on Bai Yi that he can do all these because of the gift given to him by the Demon King. He was given the ability of infinite awakenings, which is something unheard of. The system then tells Bai Yi that all other elemental bars will be cleared once he selects his initial class. After carefully taking his time, Bai Yi picks his class. He steps outside with the teacher, excited to hear what class he awakened with. Bai Yi subtly tells Huang the disappointing news that he awakened with Nuclear Warrior, which is the worst quality in the green class. Huang is thrown aback by this, but because of how good she is, she still encourages Bai Yi, telling him that great men have also emerged from the green class. She urges Bai Yi not to give up, but Bai Yi humbly tells her that there is no need for her to comfort him. Huang hears the conversation between the two, and just as expected, he pokes his nose into it. He trashes Bai Yi, telling him that the teacher is only giving him false hopes. He adds that reality is different from what the teacher is trying to preach. Hong reminds Bai Yi that the dust class basically means he is at the bottom of the food chain. Hong continues with his arrogant behavior as he tells Bai Yi that the gods choose those who are strong, while the weak ones are to be trampled upon. Hearing the mention of the gods immediately triggers Bai Yi. However, he remains calm as Hong continues with his nonsense talks. He reminds Bai Yi that he will have to start sitting in the back row in classes because this is just how society works. Apparently, the celestial ranks sit at the front, followed by the abyss rank, followed by the ember rank, and finally the dust rank. Dust rank warriors are considered to be trash and can only do business with other low-tier ranks like themselves. Hong adds that there is no way for Bai Yi to change his fate through hard work, as this is considered a waste of time. Hong moves closer to Huang to talk trash to her, but Bai Yi has finally had enough. He grabs the coffee cup that Hong is holding and spills the contents on his face. Hong is hit with a moment of shock as he doesn't want to believe what just happened. He angrily asks Bai Yi what he thinks he is doing, and our guy replies that his voice is like noise to him. Bai Yi's acts and words are enough to get on Hong's nerves, and he decides that Bai Yi needs to be taught a lesson. He aims a punch at Bai Yi, and Huang tries to stop him, but it is too late. Unknown to him, Bai Yi is already prepared for him. Before the attack hits, he conjures a light sword and uses it to block Hong's attack. He doesn't stop there, but he then parries the attack, throwing Hong into the distance to everyone's shock. Hong crashes into the ground while Bai Yi's pose shows that he used little to minimal damage. Hong coughs up blood as he tries to grasp the reality of what happened to him. Even the other students who are watching cannot believe what they just saw. Apparently, Bai Yi intentionally chose the Nuclear Warrior class because he is used to it already. This was his class in his past life, and he already knows everything related to the class. Hong manages to stand back on his feet, and he arrogantly tells Bai Yi that he just got lucky. He mentions the fact that he is an abyss rank and why he is absolutely different from trash people like Bai Yi. Huang, who has a keen eye, figures out that Bai Yi didn't get lucky with what he did to Hong. She realizes that Bai Yi just used a top-tier movement skill, which is exclusive to the warrior class. Huang knows that the parry skill is a skill that allows the wielder to nullify an attack while reflecting the full attack back to the opponent. Huang is shocked to see Bai Yi easily pull off something like this because this is a skill her master couldn't even pull off after 10 years of hard practice. Huang is more puzzled by the fact that Bai Yi just awakened, and he already has access to such a high combat experience. Huang is lost in thought about this when Hong unleashes a short sword, ready to take Bai Yi down with it. Hong is now really mad, and he assures Bai Yi that he is going to embarrass him in front of everyone. Bai Yi just stands there, cool as a hero, while also revealing that he intentionally picked the dust class. He knows that in the near future, all those who are criticizing will end up seeing the great side of the dust class. But by that time, it will be too late. The students are already hyped as the two stand in front of each other in a fighting pose. However, it is forbidden to fight with powers in the school. Hong's father is an important official, and his uncle is even the school's dean. Bai Yi, on the other hand, has no reputable family, meaning he has everything to lose if he fights Hong. Four Eyes fears that he is going to get expelled if he takes the bait and fights Hong. He asks the teacher what to do, and the teacher quickly takes the initiative. She steps in, telling the two to hold it off, but Hong is utterly pissed already. He wants to get back at Bai Yi for humiliating him in front of everyone in the school. Hong threatens to still beat Bai Yi up even if he gets on his knees and starts begging for forgiveness. He sees himself at the highest pinnacle of talent, while Bai Yi is nothing but a loser. The teacher also knows that Hong is right since the difference in attributes between the two students is great. Hong is an Abyss rank warrior, which gives him a 200% boost in all of his attributes. Abyss ranks are way up because the moment they awaken, their attributes are double that of a Dust rank. They can also grow, while the Dust rank remains stagnant. None of those who are watching, including Four Eyes, believes that Bai Yi has a chance. They assume he is going to get crushed by Hong. Four Eyes agrees that Hong is a disgusting person, but Four Eyes has been surviving by playing the fool alongside the strong just to avoid getting into problems. He believes that avoiding Hong is the only way to survive since a head-on clash will only lead to an unpleasant end. Once he is done weighing up his opponent, Hong runs toward him. The teacher is worried as she screams at Bai Yi to watch out. The teacher assumes that Bai Yi is planning to parry Hong's attack again. She knows that this might not work since the parry skill consumes a lot of stamina when used. The rate at which Hong is coming at Bai Yi will make the parry useless. Even Hong is confident that he has the advantage over Bai Yi. Bai Yi, on the other hand, just smiles like nothing serious is coming his way. Bai Yi has no interest in dodging the attack since he has another card up his sleeve. Just as Hong reaches him, he activates the Flash Blink skill. This is an instantaneous flash effect that allows the wielder to pass through obstacles in front of them. It is over in the blink of an eye, and before Hong knows it, Bai Yi has hit him in a vital part of his body. He coughs up blood while trying to ascertain when Bai Yi got behind him. He slams the ground in frustration and humiliation, while the students are left in total disbelief. None of those watching was able to catch a glimpse of what Bai Yi did to Hong. The only thing they saw was Hong crashing to the ground, and even the teacher had no idea what had happened. However, the class president, Chi Yin, actually caught a glimpse of what Bai Yi did to Hong. Chi Yin realizes that Bai Yi has mastered the highest level usage of a warrior's basic skill, and he applied it during the fight with Hong. Meanwhile, the students are all questioning what is wrong with Hong. On the status screen, Bai Yi notices that one of his attributes has increased because he defeated an opponent. However, he is not impressed with the awarded points as he considers them too few. He knows that defeating demons is the only way for him to get higher points, and he plans to get down to this as soon as he can. Still struggling on the floor, Hong is not ready to give up. He tells Bai Yi not to leave, as he is not done with him yet. He grabs his knife and tries to get Bai Yi from behind, but before he can reach our guy, they hear a voice telling them to stop the fight. It turns out to be the school dean, Hong Lian, who is Hong's uncle. Lian mocks Hong, telling him that he has made a fool of himself already, and he tells the students watching to head home so that they can rest. At the mention of the word home, it registers in Bai Yi's head that he has a home. He didn't remember this because he had just been reborn, and his parents had already died in his past life. He remembers that something tragic happened on that very day of his awakening, and before the dean can even get the chance to address him, he frantically dashes off. Even Hong is shocked as the boy runs away from the scene. The dean is short of words, but eventually turns to Huang, telling her to get her student under control. He promises to look over what happened, and Huang thanks him for his consideration. Later, Hong follows his uncle to his office to try and justify what happened. He claims that Bai Yi only got lucky, but his uncle screams at him, telling him that Bai Yi utterly humiliated him. Lian stood in the distance and witnessed Bai Yi use the flash blink against Hong. Lian explains to Hong that in that split second, Bai Yi found his weakest point and struck it to leave Hong defenseless. The dean is pissed because even with his experience, he cannot execute the flash skill with such proficiency. The dean compares Hong's battle with Bai Yi to that of a pro gamer toying with a noob. Lian lets his nephew know that, with what he saw, Bai Yi is not an ordinary kid. On the other hand, Bai Yi is rushing while thinking of how important it is for him to get to the house. He manages to reach the apartment building in no time while remembering how things went down in his past life. He is ready to stop this from happening again, even if he dies in the process. Bai Yi enters the house while his father is watching TV and his mother is doing the dishes. Bai Yi looks pissed as he enters the house, but his father is surprised that he came home early from class. Bai Yi ignores his father and focuses his attention on his mother. With tears in his eyes, he talks about how glad he is that his mother is fine. His mother is dumb, and she communicates with Bai Yi using sign language. She tells Bai Yi that she made his favorite, which is the hot and sour noodles, but Bai Yi immediately tells his mother that he is not interested in noodles for the day. He lets her know that what he wants to eat is pickled fish. Bai Yi's mother tries arguing with him, but finally caves in when she realizes how stubborn her son is. She agrees to get the pickled fish, and Bai Yi opts to follow her, But his father stops him, telling him that his mother can get the ingredients by herself. He wonders why Bai Yi came back and didn't even bother to greet him. He stands up and strolls to where he keeps his alcohol and asks Bai Yi how his awakening went. He is already eager to hear what his son awakened with. It turns out that Bai Yi's father, Bai Lingsheng, is a class electric warrior. He is a fairly strong person, which makes him dangerous. Bai Yi then tells his father that he didn't awaken that day because things took too long. His father demands to know why he came back home early if he had not awakened. He is aware that his friend's son has awakened, but he is disappointed with the class he awakened with. Lingsheng, on the other hand, expects his son to awaken with the Abyss rank. Lingsheng claims he awakened with Abyss rank back in his day, and he has also poured his sweat and blood into raising Bai Yi. Lingsheng is pissed, and with a scary aura swirling around him, he asks his son to reveal what he awakened with. Bai Yi is totally engulfed in his father's aura, and he tries lying again that he hasn't awakened. This only makes the man even angrier, and just as the perfect father he is, he smashes the drink bottle on Bai Yi's head. When he finally learns that Bai Yi awakened with the dust rank, he gets more furious as he yells at Bai Yi. Lingsheng is known to be a violent man who can't get his emotions under control. Back in Bai Yi's past life, after he found out that he had awakened as a dust rank, he got furious and embarrassed. He went the violent way and hit Bai Yi, but his mother stepped in just like she always does. Bai Yi couldn't do anything since he was a weak boy and could only watch as his old man beat his mother for a whole hour. The beating was so much that his mother was left mentally unstable because she got hit in the head. Bai Yi could only cry as he watched his mother get battered in his previous life. However, now that he is reborn, he aims to change things. Although he still doesn't have what it takes to challenge his father, since he obviously is going to need time to level up. His father is stronger than he is, since he is a C-rank Abyss class warrior. Bai Yi can't hope to get anywhere with the same tactics he used against Hong at school. His father is on a different level with real combat experience to boot. Bai Yi comes to the sad realization that he doesn't have what it takes to touch his father yet. His father grabs him by his hair while ranting about how much he regrets that he allowed Bai Yi to be born. Bai Yi knows that he is in a deep mess because his father will definitely not let him go until he gets a satisfying result. After all, he came home early to wait for him. Knowing fully well that his father is violent, he didn't want his mother to stay around and witness everything unfold. Bai Yi is glad that he got his mother out of the house, but while he is rejoicing in his inner head, a physical blow lands on his head. Things immediately go from bad to worse when Bai Yi hears someone enter the house. It turns out to be his mother, whom he is trying so hard to stop from witnessing the violence. His mother is horrified at the state in which she met his son. He is on the ground while Lingsheng is pounding his head like it is nothing. Apparently, Bai Yi's mum ran as quickly as she could so she could feed her hungry son, and this is why she returned home so fast. Bai Yi is terrified at the sight of seeing his mother back in the house as he wonders if history is about to repeat itself. Just as expected, Lingsheng turns his attention toward the poor woman, ready to do whatever he deems fit for her. In a flashback, Bai Yi is sitting in a prison cell. Apparently, Bai Yi was able to advance from a green tier to a platinum tier in his past life, making him the first to do so. Because of how impressive this feat is, his cellmate wonders why he was arrested and brought to prison. It is not just any prison, but a place where inmates who have been sentenced to die. The only statement that came out of Bai Yi's mouth was that he deserved to die because he beat his mother to death. He apparently killed his father because of what he did to his mother, which is why he was sentenced to death. Now in the present, history is about to repeat itself right in front of his eyes. Lingsheng continues displaying his act of madness, while Bai Yi's mother runs over to check on his son. Bai Yi considers himself a bit stronger than an ordinary person because there is no way an ordinary person could survive the punch his father hit him with. His mother tries to help him up while also shielding him from his angry father. Lingsheng continues with his rant, telling his wife that he was happy the day he found out that she was pregnant. He believed that it was finally time for the Bai family to shine again since his other two siblings couldn't produce a son. He believed the ancestors were relying on him to restore the family's glory now that his wife is pregnant. However, he is utterly disgusted by what came after. His son, whom he put so much hope on, awakened with the worst class of all, which is the dust rank. Lingsheng screams at his wife while reminding her that Bai Yi can't even advance with his rank because it is a trash class. Lingsheng then blames everything on his wife, saying Bai Yi awakened with such trash class because of her genes. Lingsheng loses it and raises his hand to hit the woman, but Bai Yi is not going to allow this to happen. He uses Flash Blink to pass through his mother and block his father's attack. Lingsheng is thrown backwards and smiles at his son, trying to act heroic. Bai Yi's mother is worried because she knows what is coming next. Lingsheng gets back on his feet as he arrogantly walks toward his son with the intention to beat him to a pulp. Bai Yi plans to use the parry attack on his father, But before he gets the chance to even activate the skill, his father's punch reaches him, breaks through his sword, and lands on his face. Bai Yi spills blood everywhere with the bitter realization that the power gap between him and his father is great. Before he even gets the chance to breathe, another punch comes at him. He blocks this with his hands, but the shock still reaches his body, affecting his ribs. Ling Sheng then cooks up another powerful strike to put his son in his place. He is mad that his son already has the guts to defy him. Bai Yi sees the punch coming but doesn't have what it takes to dodge or even block it. He only covers his head with his hands as the blow lands on him. Ling Sheng tells Bai Yi that he deserves to die because he awakened with a useless class. However, Bai Yi is still standing, as he is not ready to allow history to repeat itself. Ling Sheng gets angrier as he sees Bai Yi standing up to him. He mocks him, asking him if he thinks he is the real deal because he just awakened. Ling Sheng grabs a chair, ready to smash his son with it. Bai Yi's mother holds his son as they both brace up to be hit. Just then, they hear a commanding voice from the outside, demanding that they open the door. Ling Sheng is disappointed that someone just came from nowhere to disturb what he has going on. On the other hand, Bai Yi's mother is holding her son in relief that they are able to catch a break. However, it is not a surprise to Bai Yi that someone is knocking as he is behind it. Ling Sheng acts all tough, opening the door until he realizes those who are at the door. Two dudes who look tough stand in front of the door and ask Ling Sheng why it took him so long to open up. The two dudes are Liang and Chen Jinwu. The two are inspectorate investigators. Liang is the deputy captain, and he is red A rank, while Chen Jinwu is blue C rank. Ling Sheng is shocked to see the two, and while trembling, he asks them what they are doing at the house. Liang shows him a picture of a wanted criminal named Snow, asking Ling Sheng if he has seen him. Apparently, the office got a call that Snow was seen around the building. This is why the cops are conducting a house-to-house search to try and confirm if the report is true. Ling Sheng is relieved to hear that he is not the reason why the two are there. He immediately smiles while telling them that he has not seen Snow. Since Snow is popular and he is always appearing on TV, he assures them that he would definitely report it if he ever ran into him. Just then, Liang notices that Bai Yi is in bad shape. He asks Ling Sheng how this happened. Ling Sheng lies that his son was careless and he fell while going to buy groceries. He taps Liang on the shoulder, telling him that he doesn't need to worry about such trivial matters. Before he can finish his statement, Bai Yi cuts in, telling the officers that his father is lying. Bai Yi boldly tells the officers that his father hit him, which is why he is all bloodied up. 18 minutes earlier, Bai Yi had used the phone booth at the apartment to call the cops, telling them that he saw Snow in the building. He knew that the cops would not joke with any news that concerns Snow. However, he wasn't expecting them to have arrived this fast. Although he is glad that they came because he is able to buy enough time for the cops to show up. Ling Sheng tries to push the narrative away while telling Liang and his partner that his son is not serious about what he said. He lies that he doesn't even have what it takes to beat his own son. However, Bai Yi doesn't allow the lie to land before he counters with the truth. He tells the officers that his father hit him in the head with a wine bottle while his arm was hit with a stool. Bai Yi continues pointing out the places where his father already hit him. He tells the officers that they can evaluate his body for injuries. Bai Yi takes it further by quoting their rule of law. He tells the officers that all awakeners who cannot control their violent behavior and harm others are liable to be detained in the Awakener prison for 15 days. The cops are shocked and also impressed by how learned Bai Yi is. Ling Sheng turns around to look at his son with all the contempt in the world. With everything that Bai Yi has told them, Liang has no choice but to arrest Ling Sheng. Ling Sheng is immediately grabbed by the cops, and when he tries to grab his son, the cops tell him to calm down or else force is going to be used against him. Ling Sheng is grabbed out of the house, but he threatens to wipe his son once he is back from prison. Bai Yi ignores him and just closes the door behind him as he is being dragged away by the cops. Once they are safe, Bai Yi's mother runs over to hug him. Bai Yi is glad and relieved that he was able to save his mother. However, he has 15 days to get stronger, and he promises his mother that Ling Sheng will never touch her again. Before his father was dragged away, he managed to grab the key to his safe from his body. He knows that his father has something important inside the safe since this is how he was able to climb from E rank to C rank. Later, Bai Yi heads to the safe and uses the key he took from his father to unlock it. The contents of the safe were a secret Bai Yi learned after his father died in his past life. He opens up the safe and brings out the scary blade hidden inside. Bai Yi plans to take on the demon caves using the blade. Since demon caves are the only thing that can upgrade his class, Bai knows that he has no choice but to take on the labyrinths. However, there is a bit of a problem. The demon caves are under the jurisdiction of the gods, and only the guild members can enter. The ones Bai Yi can currently enter are the ones managed by the school. He can also access the hidden demon cave that he knew in his past life. In no time, Bai Yi makes his way to the hidden demon cave as he is determined to surpass everyone as fast as he can. Meanwhile, in the detention room of the inspectorate, the officers are talking about how the snow sighting ended up being a false alarm. However, they are not mad at this, since they are always ready to check out anything related to snow. While the officers are discussing, Ling Sheng tries to bribe the officers so that they can release him. Liang is absolutely disgusted by Ling Sheng's behavior since he was a member of the guild. The officers tell him that things are going to get even worse for him if bribery is added to his charges. They urge him to stay put for the night because he will be sent to the Awakener prison the following morning. Ling Sheng gets mad all over again, and all that rage is directed toward his son.